kids, Uncle Doug here, getting ready to drop some more mortgage knowledge on you. Look, I know a lot of you guys have these 3.9% or low interest rate loans on your first position, and you need cash to either pay off consumer debt, credit cards, other high interest things. Maybe you want to, rehab your house or do an addition or add a pool or finish the basement, whatever. And a lot of my my industry insiders that I follow are all talking about getting a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, in a second position. It's an okay option in my opinion, but it's not necessarily the best. I think part of this is because they simply don't have access to the Home Select product from Geneva. Because when you take let's say you have $400,000 first position mortgage at 3.9%. And now you've got, let's say your house is worth 800 grand, so you've got 400 grand equity. Let's say you want to borrow an additional 200,000, but HELOCs are not cheap. The money, prime rate right now is 8.5%. So your HELOC could be at 11, 12% maybe. And when you take what's called the blended rate, you take the rate of the first and add it to the rate of the second and average those out based on the amount of money you borrow and all that good stuff. The blended rate, for example, on that scenario I just gave you, is as high as 8+%, your blended rate. So the 3.9 is really immaterial at this point because your interest rates are so skewed because of the second. Now, a better option, and again, Geneva Financial is the only correspondent bank with this product that I'm aware of. It's called the Home Select, and it is a first position HELOC. And I'm going to walk you through a scenario of a family that has exactly what I said, a $400,000 first at 3.9, they're looking at maybe a second at 12% for 200 grand. And we're going to compare that to the power of the Home Select, and you can make your own decision, because when I show you that they're able to get a comparative effective APR of around 2.5%, 3.9 isn't such a big deal anymore, is it? Watch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take we're going to assume your house is worth 800 grand. Let's say you have a 400,000 first at 3.9%. Let's say you've been in it already for 30 months, 2.5 years, let's say. Okay. Now I've added in a second mortgage. So let's say, and this is for comparison's sake. So let's say you took some of these other guys' advice and they said, all right, fine, we'll get you a $200,000 20-year HELOC. It's going to be roughly 12% interest. And so we'll add that in. So I'm going to hit save and close here. And now that we're going to talk a little bit about the family's finances. So let's say you have $3,500 a week that is being deposited into your family checking accounts. All right. So that is, let's say your significant other and yourself, post-tax, maybe insurance, and already putting money in your 401k. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your finances, and we're going to say, okay, and again, this is not everyone's going to qualify, and this is only for conservative individuals that don't spend everything they make. So in this particular case, let's say you're able to save an additional 30% of your deposited income every month. We can go up or down on this. It will still work. And each case is individual. So you really need to contact me or go to gohomeselect.com and use the simulator yourself. Go play with it. When you realize that there's probably benefit there, give me a call and we can get you going. So we're going to hit calculate again and look at what happens here. So, well, let's see if we can get you to be able to see that. There we go. All right. So you can either pay 30 years with that new HELOC and another 27 years on your other loan, or you can pay your entire loan off in 8.4 years, have a $600,000 line of credit free and clear, your house is paid off, and this model saves you $617,000 compared to the conventional 30-year loan that you had at 4.9% and the 12% HELOC. So which sounds better to you? Now let's look a little further, because I know you're worried about interest rate. Do you see this right here? This is your comparison loan effective APR, 2.55%. This loan is so flexible, you can actually make an interest-only payment of only $2,500 or $2,600 if you wanted, versus your total payments of almost $4,000. You're only going to pay 43% of the entire loan amount that you borrowed now in interest. And for this not to work, interest rates would have to go all the way up to 15%. And we know intellectually that they're either going to stay where they are or probably decline. This is the absolute most powerful loan available. Sure, you can start to see why I think this loan is unbelievable. And it's been around for 20 years. Richard Branson is one of the principals that brought it here from Australia. It is now available in Australia, New Zealand, the United States. It's been here since 2005, Japan, England, and Canada. So this is not anything new. This is just not that old school, interest-loaded, front-loaded, 30-year amortizing loan. Really, really powerful. It's not for everybody, but if it's for you, gangbusters. I have clients that think they're going to pay off their houses in just 2.5 years and still have access to all the money. They just don't want to pay interest on all that money. And once you have your house paid off, you can then take that money that you were paying towards a mortgage and put it towards other wealth-building vehicles. This is how you control the debt side, your liability side, and increase your investment side, your forward-looking financial growth side. Reach out for more information, or you can, again, go to gohomeselect.com. Uncle Doug, dropping knowledge. Have a great day.